Hi guys, it's football Sunday. I'm going to make some con queso with sausage dip. It's real easy to do, it's real tasty. So let's get started. The first thing I do is I start on the cheese and get it prepared. And what I'm going to be using are just a few ingredients. This is so simple to do. It's football Sunday. I love doing this. But basically what you're going to need is some Velveeta cheese. I've got a 2-pound pack here, 32 ounces. And some ground sausage. I'm going to use Jimmy Dean. I like that. You can use anything you want. A can of Rotel tomatoes and chilies. I'm using the mild. The original doesn't really have any bite to it, but I like a little bite. I like to put some yellow onion in my cheese dip. It kind of makes it a little bit different. A half a cup of milk if you need it. If it's a little bit too thick, once it gets cooked, you can dilute this the dip with the milk, and it'll make it a little bit more creamier. So basically what I do, I've got most of it already done up here. I just cut them in cubes. Real simple to do. I just line them up and cut them up like that. It makes it easier to melt that way. And I just set those aside. And then next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start on our sausage. Now in preparing our sausage, I'm just going to hit the skillet with a little bit of olive oil and drop our sausage in there and just chop it up. And what we'll do, we'll brown this and then we'll start adding our onions. Once my ground sausage is browned just lightly, I'll go ahead and add my sweet Vidalia onion and mix that in there. Now let me give y'all a word of caution. When you grill this with sausage, make sure you cook this sausage completely through, or otherwise you will be sorry. It will not continue to cook very well if you partially brown it and put it in your cheese sauce. You will get sick. So just take the time to let your sausage cook through all the way before you add it to your cheese sauce. Alright, we'll give this a chance to finish cooking. We'll drain it and we'll start putting our dish together. We're waiting on our sausage to completely cook through. We're going to take our Velveeta squares that we chopped up and put them in a crock pot. I'm going to do this in a crock pot. You can do this with a double boiler. You can even do it in a pot on the stove. But I got some other things to do, so I'm going to go ahead and use a crock pot today. Now, I've got the cheese in there. I'm going to turn this on high and let this begin to melt before I start adding my Rotel tomatoes and my sausage. So let's check on our sausage. Okay, the sausage is cooked through. You can see how it's turning brown on most of its edges. That's pretty well an indication that your sausage is cooked through. You just want to make sure, guys, that it's cooked, because I tell you what, getting sick on raw pork is no fun. I got sick one time on some excuse me, some bad Earl Campbell hot links. Got food poisoning from it, ended up in the hospital. So go ahead and take the time to do this. Also, go ahead and scrape all that good fond up off the bottom of this from the sausage. It just adds to the flavor. There's not much grease in here. It's a pretty lean sausage, so there's really nothing to drain. That's just going to add to the flavor of our cheese sauce once we add it. Alright, let's give a chance for our cheese to melt just a little bit, and we'll add this and our Rotel. After about 20 minutes on high in the crock pot, you can see the cheese is about 3/4 of the way melted. We're going to go ahead and add our cooked sausage, our 1 can of Rotel tomatoes and chilies, and just about a 1/4 cup of milk right now. Give this a stir. It'll take about 45 minutes for this to finish. Man, that smells good and it looks good. Man. Okay, guys, put the top back on. Give it about 45 minutes. We'll be ready to dip into it. All right, guys. Our sausage con queso dip is ready. Man, it smells good. Let's bowl some of this up. I'm going to be using those Tostitos scoops. I like those. You can get a lot of this in those scoops. Man, look at that. Nothing better. Football, beer, and con queso sausage dip. All right, let's give this a try. Man, it looks good. That's really good. Like I said, I like using that mild Rotel. Gives it a little bite. And mixing onions with the sausage seems to give it a little bit better flavor. Anyway, I'm going to watch some football, drink some beer, eat my dip and chips. Until next time, don't forget to be nice to everybody, guys. Bye-bye.